You guys might notice something a little weird with my audio today, and that's because
Got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic.
I got a new mic so I can maximize the distance. The silencing technology, it muffles all the piston. The best Spider-Man's Chris Barnes, no question. But the best Mary Jane's first name is Kristen!
Got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic, got a new mic.
Hey, it's Ricky from All Sorts of Words, and comic book YouTube is weird. Stick around, let's talk about it. I've only been doing this channel for 9 months, but I've been watching comic book content on YouTube for closer to like 6-7 years. I love statue unboxings, I love comic reviews, I love the history that people go into, but I also love haul videos. People going out into the streets, searching for comics, and then reporting back with what they got at the end of the day, right? Well, I've done a couple on this channel, and I always put my own little kind of goofy spin on them, but it's everything that you see in this channel largely has just been me in control. I'm at my desk, I'm editing the videos, I'm filming the videos. Most of what I do is me flying solo. Well, a couple months ago, I was invited by Bigby McFly, the comic guy, to go on a live stream. Actually, I was in my bed reading at the time. I was reading, hold on, I can remember. My grandmother told me to tell you she's sorry, I think is the name of the book. So I go on and I met a bunch of people. That's where I met Alan, the comic collector geek. That's where I met Brandon from Mon Comics. And that's also where I met Mike from Lunch Money Comics. Mike was a channel I watched in the past. Like, I would watch his channel and enjoy his hunting content. He was a fun character to follow. Well, he and I strike up conversations outside of that chat, and we've been talking for a couple months digitally, just like sending each other funny memes and text messages and opening up a little bit about our lives. And I gotta tell you, he has a very wholesome persona that he adopts for his YouTube channel, and that is absolutely correct and right. He is a wholesome type of person. But when the cameras are off, he is more like this version of me that you see on my videos. He has that kind of dry sense of humor, that wicked sense of humor, and we make each other laugh quite a bit. Or conversely, me, I'm actually more like his persona in private. I read a ton. You're not talking when you're reading, you're dead silent. I love playing video games. My wife is working late tonight, so I get to play video games for like 3 hours, and I'm super stoked. Persona 5 Royale, in case you were wondering. So Mike and I make this really weird duo where like his online presence is how I act in my day-to-day navigating of this weird existence. And my personality on my YouTube channel is kind of how he acts in his private life. So we have this weird crisscross applesauce connection. I'm not docking. Maybe. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, let's make a YouTube video together. I'll join you on a hunt and you can show me some of your local places because Maine's got shit for comics. So I think it would be fun. Well, we connected and I've got 2 videos that are going to be coming out. One today and one coming out on Monday that go over the hauls that we got. The first place that we went to was Nick's Comic Strip. That's what we're going to be going over today. And it was a fantastic day. But the next 2 places, one was really small and one was like a legit comic book honey hole. We found crazy stuff. So stick around for this 2-part video. Comic hunting is obviously the point of what we're doing here today, but I also wanted to share some of the weirdness that I experienced along the way so that you guys get a better idea of what it's like to be a comic YouTuber connecting with other comic book YouTubers. So the very first thing I filmed, I arrived at Nick's Comic Strip. I was waiting for Mike to show up and I filmed this. Hey everybody, it's Ricky from All Sorts of Words and I'm out of the studio, as it were, because I'm meeting up with a friend today to go comic shopping. I'm meeting up with Mike from Lunch Money Comics. We're gonna get some lunch and we're gonna do some digging and I'm pretty excited. This is out of my wheelhouse for me. I'm not gonna lie. So I have a bunch of geeky jerseys. No, like that's the brand. If you go to geekyjerseys.com. Not sponsored, by the way. I have a lot of geeky jerseys and they're really bright and colorful and fun, and I laid out my outfit for today, being like, this is what I'm gonna wear. And then right before I head out the house, I'm talking to my wife, and I was like, should I go with the button up and the Nike quarter zip with some fly ass shoes? Those are KD X5s, by the way. I was like, should I wear this, or should I wear the jersey outfit that I had planned? But that's not how I asked her. I asked her, I was like, should I wear this, or should I dress like a clown? And she was like, baby, just be yourself. And so that's something I had to remind myself today. When my YouTube channel has two speeds. It's radical honesty and jokey McJokeface. But my real self, I like to laugh, I like to make jokes and shit, but I don't know if I necessarily want to be like a big old clown when the primary purpose of today is to just like hang out and have fun with a friend. So this is the format of this video. Gross. I would much rather have this feel like an authentic hangout than me trying to entertain, like purposefully entertain. If you're entertained, awesome. But really, I want to spend today trying to capture the essence of just having a good time with friends. So come along, have fun. There's a weird kind of feeling that comes over you when you're meeting someone you've only met online. And especially when you're considering YouTube channels, because there is an air of professionalism to it. Like, Mike has a big channel. He's making money on YouTube. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about that, but it happens, believe it or not. But I'm still a small channel. So like, I'm balancing this idea of how to present myself in an authentic way to an audience to try to increase my subscriber count and increase the productivity of what I'm putting out there. But I'm also just trying to like hang out with a friend and have a comic book fun day. These are difficult things to wash in your head. And so like, I found that like, just honestly telling myself to be cool, just be cool. Don't be so animated. Don't be so wild and wacky like I am right now on my YouTube channel. Be more of myself and relax, and I'll have a better time. And guess what? It worked. So I'm going to cut to some footage of what we found at Nick's Comic Strip. It's a beautiful store. There's action figures everywhere from every generation. There are 3 levels of comic books in bins. Marvel at the top, because whatever, I guess. DC in the middle, and then Indie at the bottom. Keep a close eye on the comic wall as well, because I actually got a comic book off of that wall. And there are really cool sets that I'll show you, like sets. Like they'll take issues 1 through 6 of a series from the 90s, and they'll put it in like a bigger bag and sell it for like $5. So you can get a whole story, which for a comic reader like me, that's great. Finding old out of print comics in almost like a fake trade paperback and being able to read them in a sitting is awesome for me. And I also got some wall art. See if you can spot somewhere in the background what this guy would want to hang on his wall from Nick's. Aside from all of that, I gotta say, the reason why it's called Nick's and not like the Comic Spot, Comictopia, Comic Vaganza, I don't know. The reason why it has the owner's name is because the owner's personality is very much a part of the store and the vision of the store. He does a great deal for charity every single year, and he's like become a pillar of the community, and the guy's a fucking riot. If you ever happen to get into Nick's and get to meet the guy, do yourself a favor, take a couple deep breaths, relax, and just talk to him. He's so entertaining. He's a natural entertainer. And so we're just lucky that he happened to go into a business like comics, so we get to enjoy him. Now I'm going to cut to the footage of what I captured at Nick's that day. Have a look around the store with me in real time. And at the end of the video, I'll show you what my haul from Nick's was, and we'll do a little wrap up. That's sick. What are we looking at up here? What's this Judge Dredd?
I knew it. I was waiting for you to see
What
it.
is that?
I was gonna point it out.
So like a movie replica? Okay, so all said and done, I spent a little over $200 at NYX, and let's get right into it. This is the smallest thing. First, we're going to begin with the smallest thing, then we're going to go into the biggest thing. Here's the smallest thing. This is a 50th anniversary collectible pin of Vampirella. This is how much I paid. This is actually the second pin of the set that I got. I got that famous picture one of her with like her hand pointed out and she's holding the bat on her fingertips. So I really wanted a second one of these. I wear one of those man purses in the summer and I always put a different pin on it when I go out. And so if I can rock Vampy and not look nerdy, then I try to do that. Okay, Vampy book number 1. This is Vampirella number 11. This is a Nighthawks at the Diner like homage cover, and you know it tells a scene. There's a cat in there. This guy's dead at the counter. He's bleeding. She looks great. He's hiding for his life. I love Nighthawks at the Diner, and it's such an isolating piece. If you don't know what it looks like, I'll put a picture of it right here. But this is one of my favorite Vampirella covers. If there is a virgin variant of it, I will be hunting that actively. Here's another Vampy cover, black and white virgin variant, $450 for a virgin variant. I don't care if it's a black and white version. Vampy virgin variants are difficult to come by in the wild. And so having one this cheap is just remarkable. This one, you might have seen me, like if you watch the video clip, I kind of pass over it and then I come back to it. I love Vampirella when she looks unusual. And I don't mean like this woman or depiction of a woman looks unusual. I mean, when she looks like she normally doesn't. And so like a really older version of Vampirella like this, I think this is amazing. This one, every time I show people what I got from this trip to NYX, this seems to be their favorite. This kind of Elvira horror cover. Vampirella, the names of the artists, final show. And then like the spooky hands coming towards her. I love collecting Christmas covers, especially when it's not the holidays, because everybody doesn't care about Christmas covers when it's not the holidays. But this is actually Rudolph. Look, it's got the little red nose. I love the outfit where it's still Vampirella based. This is a big stack. It's coming next, so bear with me. This is Sojourn. This was a cross-gen indie comic series with a hot female lead. And here she is. This is Arwen. And this is issues 0. This is the preview issue. So issues 0 all the way to 16. And I think this is a really cool series. She was an iconic character at the time when I was young and into comics. But I never read it. And so September 11th issue. That's interesting. And so to be able to get this for like, it was like 15 or $20 for like a buck an issue in order to be able to read this and get this whole story. This is exciting. So, if I like it, I'll keep going. If I like these issues, I'll definitely keep going. But there seems to be a lot of meat on the bones in terms of Sojourn. So I'll definitely have to report back after I'm further in to tell you how I like it. Look at that cover. Okay, next. This is another one of those packs. 3 issues. It's called Finn. I did read this already. And it's by American Gothic Press. By John Clark. Please don't waste your time. This... This had really neat art, and it was a cool concept, but it just, in the end, it just kind of fell flat for me. So this is about a very large woman whose husband treats her like shit, and she wants to get thin. We can relate to that. I know I can. And so she hears about, she She runs into this friend at a grocery store who used to be as big as her and is now a supermodel. And she's like, what happened? She tells her about this doctor who's doing this really experimental new surgery, and it only takes a day and you'll lose all the weight. She goes to see the doctor, and it's this gross sci-fi tapeworm he's going to put in her. And so she's kind of like, she's freaking out, but she's not losing her mind yet. And then the doctor, he dies of a heart attack. And so now it's her alone in the room with this parasite. And you'd think that would be a really compelling character study. But no, largely it's her just freaking out in a bed and some gross, like, scary stories to tell in the dark art. In the end, she finds her confidence, goes home, whips her husband into shape, and it's just not very good. If you know what, I'll even go this far. If you can find all 3 issues for this price, you know what? You could do a lot worse for $5 in terms of entertainment. But in regards to like collecting comics, or if it's something that you should write home about, I don't think so. This is another one of those packs. $10 for Crimson Flower 1 through 4. And I'm really excited to see what this is about, because look at that. Look at this art, this like serious art juxtaposed with this like cartoon art. And then this, it's all kind of cartoony. I really like the art on this. This is purely a cover buy, but I'm definitely going to read it for sure. Okay, now all the time we talk about cover buys in the comic collecting hobby, or character buys, right? How often do you hear someone talk about a title buy? This is absolutely a title buy. I Breathed a Body. What a sexy title. It's by Aftershock Comics, Zach Thompson, Andy McDonald. I haven't read this yet, but you can bet your ass I'm going to. This cover actually kind of sold me on it too, because it's this, okay, it's very Hellraiser-y, bloody person kind of deal, right? And then up here you see the tentacles. That tells me right away, when you see tentacles on an indie comic, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be Cthulhu-ish. So I'm excited to see this. I haven't seen a title this sexy since Something is Killing the Children. I love this title. Okay, this is another pack, 2 books, Ayn Rand's Anthem, the graphic novel, and Ayn Rand's Red Pawn, the graphic novel. I love Ayn Rand's writing. We don't always agree politically. A lot of times we do, but we don't always agree politically. But I actually love the woman as a writer. She's fantastic. And you might know her from thick boy books like Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, of which I've only read Atlas Shrugged. But she had a book that began before these books, those 2 I just mentioned. And it was a small, thin book, and it was called Anthem. You could read it in a sitting, and it kind of covered the same ground. Like, this guy invents a light bulb, and because the Church of Good Ideas says we're not going to use your light bulb, he's like, yeah, but guys, it's a light bulb. It's going to change the way that we do everything. And they kick him out of their society. And so he's like, fine, fuck you. I'm going to take my light bulbs elsewhere. And so he takes his machine and he goes and he starts civilization. So it's this allegory for like enlightenment. It was a really cool read. And so I'm excited to read the graphic novel about it. I have no idea what Red Pawn is about, but I'm excited to read this one. I did get 1 Superboy book. Any guesses as to why I bought this one? Come on, camera. There it is. Look at his little pink nose and his little cape and his yellow. Oh, I love this one. And he's sitting like a hound do. All of this doesn't matter to me. It's just this little boy right here. Okay, this is another cover buy. It's another pack. This is issues 1 through 5 of Luna for $10. Boom Studios. We all know them to be pretty sweet. This is a sick cover. I really like this. And then this one, look how trippy that is. And there's only 1 credit on it, Maria Lovett. So I can assume that this is a artist / writer. But with the art being this good, I'm in. I'm all in. And last comics, this is the Corinthian from the Sandman series. This is 1 of 3, all the way through 3 of 3. And if you watch the Netflix show, the Corinthian is that dude with the teeth in his eyeballs. And so this is that nightmare character. And I have the entire Sandman series. I also have the Life After Death, or whatever the name of that series is. It's the Death series after Sandman. So I have that Life After Death series after Sandman. So I'm really looking forward to adding to the Sandman collection. Eventually, one day, when I'm like 50 years old, I'll have every single Sandman related book. But for right now, I'm just happy to have the original run all in first print. I even want the reprints. That'd be fun too. And then I've got the Corinthian as well. Okay, now we're going on to the big ridiculous thing I bought. Look at this. Look at this. In the future, one man is the law. The Stallone movie, kind of like postery, framed-y thing. So Nick from the store was telling me that this guy, he's into framing. And so he takes different like media, like autographs, and he'll put like an artifact in there, and he'll sell these. And so this was $75, worth every penny. I'll put a picture right now up of what it looks like next to my Dread books and how sweet that looks. I fell in love with this. This could have been $100 and I would have paid for it. Now, I promised you wall book, right? But I wanted to bundle it in with this act of kindness I got from Mike. So we'll do wall book first. Anybody who's been watching this channel for longer than one video knows how into indie books I am and how into horror I am. So I've been flirting with this book on eBay for a long time, but I never found it at a really reasonable price. And this was a slabbed, guaranteed, high-grade copy of Ice Cream Man #1 in a 9.6. This is a horror anthology series where this dude, the Ice Cream Man, is telling stories, telling horror tales. And I'll be honest, I haven't read it. I've only seen some of the stories outlined online, and I've only seen the covers, which are wild. But for $100, which is what I paid, this was an amazing pickup. Usually in this grade on eBay, I see it going for like $150, $160, somewhere in that range. So I'm saving like a third of the cost, because I believe that Nick from Nick's Comic Strip, he is a purveyor of comics. He wants to see comics in people's hands. So rather than nickel and dime every single customer, he'll give you a good deal. And this is evidence of that for sure. So now we have what Mike gave me. I didn't expect Mike to give me anything, but when we met outside of Nick's, the first thing he wanted to do was give me some books. So first thing he did was get me this. This is Superboy #118. It's a hysterical crypto cover. I actually already have this book. I didn't tell Mike that, so him watching this video is probably the first time he's going to see it. But the book that he got me is actually a higher grade than the one I already had. So what do? I'm going to swap out the one in my crypto collection with this book, Mike's book, right? I'll probably even write Mike's book on the back or something like that, just so I can remember it. And then I'm creating a pile of other crypto books that I already own and have doubles of. Believe it or not, I've gotten a couple different acts of kindness, and everybody's so awesome for doing that. It's really nice when people reach out and they're like, hey, I know you love crypto. You want some books? So I have quite the collection of crypto comic books at this point, of duplicate covers. And I think what I'll do is I'll go to Terrificon, and if I meet somebody who loves Superboy, or if I meet somebody organically that loves crypto, I think I'll give them a nice little prize pack just for being cool people and having good taste in characters. And last but not least, the second gift Mike gave me, Vampirella Volume 5, #23. This is a gold foil trade dress. And here, let me take it out of the bag. This is a Comic Mint exclusive cover. My goodness. She's like standing in the jaw of a creature that she probably killed because she's awesome. And it's just a beautiful cover. And he even said when he gave this to me, because he's so sweet, he was like, I know you don't do the trade dress ones, but like, I know you love Vampy. And yeah, that's exactly it. I angle my collection after the Virgin variants because that's what all the Vampirella collectors do. That's what we try to go for. But it's still a gorgeous cover, and it's a gift from a friend, so it has that additional meaning to it. Okay, so this concludes part 1 of this comic hunt I went on with Mike. Part 2 is actually insane. After we left Nick's, we went to a flea market, which I found a couple cool things in, but the environment of the flea market was really what was cool about it. But then we went to a second comic store. I'll tell you the name and everything about it when you tune in next time on Monday for part 2. This comic store, they're one of the few comic stores I've ever been to that it doesn't matter what the book is priced. So long as there's a price sticker on it from the sticker gun they use, they will honor that price. Why is that neat? Well, one, because most comic book stores nowadays are trying to be dildos about that by pricing us at the register. But they had huge backstock, dozens of long boxes filled with comic books that, no joke, have not been priced since pre-pandemic. 4+ years these books were priced ago. So when me and Mike were going through them, we found banger after banger after banger. It was wild. And the books that I picked up were amazing. And I only got the books that I picked up because of incredible customer service. There's a whole story behind it. This is really too much for one video. So please tune in on Monday for part 2 of my comic hunt with Mike. I had a great time hanging with Mike. Thank you, Mike from Lunch Money Comics, for just like suggesting that we hang out and have fun. We had a meal and we talked about like our life experiences and I don't know, like it sounds corny and weird to say that you can make friends, like real friends on this platform, but it is possible. This relationship is proof of it. And so all I can do is encourage everybody to get on this platform. Be friends with Mike. He's great. Be friends with me. I'm also great. But see you Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, all that stupid stuff. Love you. Bye.